Well, hi, and welcome to our next episode of my Leveraging Your Voice podcast. Today we have a great guest. Archie is with us, and Archie is fun to talk to. So you're going to have a lot of fun with this episode just listening in. And I have a lot of questions for Archie. I don't know if he has a lot of answers. We're going to see, because he has a podcast and he's always the host. Today he's the guest, so it's a different spot for him. So it's a whole new thing. But I think with our support, he's going to do great. Archie, why don't you just introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul. First, I just want to say thank you and for taking time and allowing me to be on the show. I'm Archie. I'm a chiropractor, and I help new dads live a more fulfilling life. So that's what I do as far as my job. But also on the side, I have a podcast called the Biz Jitsu Podcast, and what we do is we interview jujitsu practitioners who own businesses, with the goal in mind of creating a community where everyone helps each other in their business. So
Awesome.
yeah, that's me
Awesome.
in a
That's great.
nutshell.
And you and I met through an organization that is all about business owners helping one another as well, right?
Absolutely. Yes, yes.
Good. BDC.
It's BDC, Black Diamond Club. Shout
Yeah.
out to Sean and Lacey.
Yeah. Excellent. Now, if I understand correctly, you're more of a new chiropractor in terms of recently having graduated. Is that part right?
Yes, absolutely. December 2022, to
Now,
be
what's
exact.
great about that is I watched you graduate. Tell them why. Tell them why that is.
The reason why he saw me graduate is because his son John Rakowicz, him and I graduated the same year.
There you go. Same ceremony. Now, I wasn't there in person. I was watching on video, but I was, it's you guys doing all that work to get to that place to graduate
Mhm.
is an amazing accomplishment. And I just congratulate you guys for that. It's marvelous.
Thank you. By the way,
Marvelous.
John did a very good speech the day before our graduation. We have, our dinner, and
Mhm.
he stood up on stage and delivered a phenomenal speech. So I just
Oh,
wanted to add that. I don't know if
you
you
mean
had
my
something to
John?
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. How
I
about
don't
that?
I don't know if you had anything to do with that and coaching him, but he did really good.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. That's great. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I got to say this too. So, when we were warming up, Archie, he suggested, so I'm standing here, but we were talking about, can I move around a little bit? So he said, it looks really good if you move over here, and then if you sort of walk over here while you're talking, and it kind of looks like you're just sharing with the audience, maybe a lecture hall kind of thing or something. Is that kind of what you talked about?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that because sometimes of you, just me myself being in video content, editing and creating social media short form content, even long form content, just gives the viewers something else to look at and visualize. Give the content something to breathe, something to feed, just something different, and just instead of just even me just moving my hands right here, right? Just giving something else, a little different, a little bit of a different visual for your audience.
Well, when I become famous for my ability in front of the camera to move around and keep people interested, I'm going to not forget Archie. So I want you to
That's
know that.
amazing.
I'm going to credit you. Now, if people complain about it, I won't mention your name.
I was just about to mention that.
No, I
Please.
won't do that. Only if it's good reviews will I mention your name. Okay? So you're safe with me.
Thank you.
All right, now let's talk about your chiropractic life. You've graduated recently, and I think you mentioned that the big deal going on with you is you're planning to open an office coming up really soon here. So is
Yes.
that happening, and when is that happening? Where's that at? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so where do I start? So to start off with the first part. So I plan on grand opening in the first week of August 2024 this year. That's about less than 2 months away. So the name of my office is called Groundwork Chiropractic, and it's located in Garden Grove, California. So if we can go back to the branding and the name, I had this in my mind since I was in school. It's just something that just stuck with me that I really had to stick to. Really, it's just a name that just really resonated with me, right? It just I was sharing it with people. I had a little bit of resistance against it, but I knew that, at the end of the day, it had to relate to me. It really had to fire me up, that when I woke up every morning, that's what I am proud of creating in my life and for my family.
And
So
what's the name again?
it's called Groundwork Chiropractic.
Groundwork
Chiropractic.
Chiropractic. Excellent. Now you're just a little excited about it. I can tell that. Now I'm out in California in your area and I'm watching this and I'm thinking, now look, I'm practicing my moving.
Yeah,
All
looks
right.
good.
So I'm out in California in your area and I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I love this guy, Archie. I got to come see him in August. And then I think to myself, uh-oh, but he's new. He probably hadn't cracked the back, which you guys don't like to say, in months or years. So what would you say to someone when they're thinking about that?
Well, actually, I've been adjusting people the before we graduated, and the reason being is because we go through programming called preceptorships and postceptorships, which gives students before they graduate the opportunity to get experience in adjusting patients. So I was doing that a year before I even graduated. I am practicing, or I was practicing, and I'm currently still practicing with the same doctor for the past 2 years in adjusting people every single day, going through consults, report of findings, doing examinations, taking through their care plans every step of the way, treating patients for the past 2 years. There's even patients that I even saw from the beginning all the way till now. They're so happy with their care. So if you think that just because I graduated recently, I've been putting in time and effort every single day to my craft.
That's awesome. So I don't have any worries because you're doing this right now and you're working with another chiropractor who's obviously mentoring you to help you just grow in your craft. So when you get to August in your own site, you're ready.
I am ready. I am ready to go.
That's awesome. Now, the chiropractor you're working with now, do they love the idea that you're going to step out on your own?
Yes and no.
Talk to us about that.
Yes.
Do they support you?
Absolutely. He supports me all the way. He does. And Dr. Dale Andelkovic in Redlands, California. Shout out to Dale. He's been really showing me the ropes and really supporting me all the way. The no part is because he can't go on vacations anymore.
I get that part. He's going to miss you.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna miss you. Well, it's good that I've noticed this about the chiropractors. You guys are a bit of a family and you support each other. And when young chiropractors come out of school, they do have the support of guys and ladies who have been doing it for a long time. I find that really good. And I think it's good for the profession and it's good for all of you to get out and have that group of people that you know and that you can share with. And if you have a case and you need help, you have people you can go to.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you on that. As well as, coincidentally, he was the one who introduced me to BDC.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So we wouldn't have met, Paul.
That's right. Without him. I love it.
Right? Yeah. So
I love it. Well,
yeah.
BDC is a good group because it helps small business owners, service business owners grow their business and have other people they can talk to. So that's all good.
Yes.
Now I want to ask you something. This thing you're doing with Ju Jitsu, talk to me a little bit about that. I know that it isn't your business. It's something you do for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And your business is chiropractic and helping heal people, which is a great calling. I love that. I love that calling. But what is this fun thing you do? Just talk a little bit more about just how you got into it and why you're doing that. And there's someone at the school you graduated from, Life West, who's also into this jujitsu thing. And just, did you guys connect with all of that? So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Jane Simbre. That was a coincidence. I was a student in one of her classes and the topic just came up and yeah, we are just talking jujitsu and she's also been a great mentor along the way as well. So I just want to add thank you, Dr. Jane Simbre, for everything that you have done for me. But to go back to your question in jujitsu, so it started out because I was into the exercising and physical fitness. And at the time, I was just looking for something a little bit new, a little bit different. Um, I wanted to really learn some self defense. So I saw this UFC gym. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. That sounds like it can be a little fun and different, like what I was looking for. And then one of the coaches introduced me to jujitsu. So me, I there's my decisions. This could be one of my downfalls, but a lot of it is on impulse. Like, oh, it feels great. Let's go. Let's do it, and I'll figure it out along the way. What's gonna happen? And I had a great time. I did get beat up that first day, but each day just want me to I wanted to come back because I knew I wanted to get better. That's just my mentality. I always want to get better every day. This is something new. I want to get better each day. And the more I did it, I kind of was just really just showing up and without intention. Does that make sense? Like
Mhm.
it's been ever since I've probably started chiropractic school, had my intentions in jiu-jitsu has changed a little bit. My mindset has shifted. Like what are the correlations that my mind is going through tying in jiu-jitsu and everyday life, right? Waking up at 5 a.m. to get to class, that's not motivation, that's straight discipline. Because I know I may feel like crap coming waking up 5 in the morning, but it feels great right after class because you know it's a lot of strategy. Actually, what people think about jujitsu, it's a lot about strategy. If someone's going to hold you in a certain position, how do you defend yourself? There's a lot of aspects, and that's why I do jujitsu. Is just you can always get better each day. When you think you have figured it all out, you haven't. There's always going to be someone better. There's always someone that's going to catch you in something, and that's one of the reasons why I love jujitsu.
Well, I think that's interesting and great because as a doctor, one of the expectations I would have, and I suspect your patients will have over the years, is are you growing as a doctor?
Absolutely.
Or did you become a doctor and you just shut down and said, this one I'm going to do, and that's it?
No, it's everyday learning, right? There's always going to be someone new coming through your doors, right? Yeah, you might get a few of the same cases, but hey, that's more experience under your belt. But anyways, you're always going to have some new cases that really going to be a challenge. And really, at the end of the day, is what are you going to do to help them? How much, that's what I look forward to in those days. Like that's where I think when I feel like there's a struggle or what I call resistance, I love that. I love when I feel that resistance, when something feels overwhelming, because I know it's testing my ability, it's testing my patience, it's testing everything. Because I know once I get through that threshold, it's just helping me grow as an individual each time.
Awesome. Now I have a follow-up question here, but I'm stepping back. Is this a good way to move around? Or
It
do I got to
looks
find a
great.
better way to go back and find other places to be?
It looks great. Maybe do like a square. walk in a square position, forward, backs.
I was going to say, don't have me square dance while I'm out here. I feel like I'm out in, where am I? Where am I? I need like a lifeline to come back.
It looks great. It looks great.
Now, how did you end up servicing as your ideal client the description you gave earlier? Tell us again, who is your main point of service? Not that that's the only person that you would serve.
Absolutely.
But your focus. Talk a little bit about, tell us again who that is and how you got to that.
Yeah, the reason why I chose new dads in who I want to service is because I'm a relatively new dad. I have a 2-year-old daughter and an 11-month-old son, very close in age. And you know what? There is so much responsibilities that you cannot be prepared for. No matter how much you think you're going to be ready, you're not ready. And it's so debilitating. It can be so stressful to your life that it can affect you personally in your work. And that's why I want to help those dads, is just really someone to talk to, right, in their struggles with raising a child the first year, the sleep that you're never going to get back.
Archie, so I could have been your client back in the day. You know, I have 5 kids.
Wow.
And I want to tell you this, okay? When we had the first one, here's the memory. I have many memories, but one of the memories I have is laying in bed, and there's that baby there, and I'm staring at the ceiling saying, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. And you learn as you go.
Exactly.
But it does take you into a place that you've never been before. And you telling that story about what brought you to that ideal client is really kind of cool. It really connects you with the folks that you want to help.
Yes, absolutely. There's quite a few that I'm seeing at the office with Dr. Dale. I love the conversations that we have. It's just very relatable, and it's a really good time. While I'm adjusting them and having the conversations, sometimes new dads just need that conversation as well. Also getting adjusted, yes, that's more important, yes. But on top of that, it's just someone to talk to.
It's important.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
altogether important. And you're serving the whole person there when you're talking with them.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes we can always be in these weird positions, and holding our newborns, and an adjustment can really help relieve some of that tension that
my favorite position was me laying on the couch and the baby on my chest. Yes. And taking a nap. That was my favorite.
Yes. Me, it's just sitting on the chair, just falling asleep on the chair with my kid.
It's a great memory, right? And you'll have that forever.
Absolutely.
So that's cool.
Fast. Yeah.
It's cool. Now, your house and office, are they far apart, or short distance, or what?
So where I currently live and where my current employer, he's about an hour away.
Oh, but your new office?
My new office is 8 minutes away.
Okay, good. Good.
Yes.
So that'll make for a good situation.
Yes, absolutely. My family is extremely excited
to have you not doing that hour drive both ways.
Yes, and be home on time for dinner as well.
Oh yeah. Amazingly, that's one of the most important things that you'll have to try and do with your family is come home for dinner.
Yeah.
And actually sit down and have dinner. That's a hard thing to do because life gets busy and there's all these things going on and you're building your business and that never stops.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to find that balance. I can imagine you, as the years go on, creating events for dads that are really around this notion of how do we keep it together and balance everything so that we have our career, but also have that family life. I can see you doing some things like that as the years go by.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that has been stirring on my mind and providing something a little bit more than my chiropractic services to them. Um, I actually, it's funny how you mentioned that. I wanted to, with my jujitsu background, is provide some physical activity for these new dads because understand it can be exhausting, but when you have something like jujitsu, where you're actually putting your hands on each other and going through this physical activity, it can be one a stress relief in a sense. It sounds barbaric, right? But I think if you have the right partners and training coaches, you can definitely um, learn a lot about yourself in jiu-jitsu. You're going to be in the worst positions, worse than you not sleeping all night.
Right. And
Right.
learning how to
So
deal with all of that.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's been actually on my mind. It's funny how you mentioned that.
Good. Well, you're
Yeah.
thinking ahead of how you can help and support the wonderful people that are going to come to see you. I know you're going to be successful. I know you're already successful. When August comes, it's going to be all kinds of new excitement and all that sort of stuff. Hard work, but all worth it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for you. Now,
Thank
I
you.
want to ask you, we're sort of rolling towards the end of our time together. Did we not cover something that you wanted to share? Have we covered everything you wanted to share? And if we have, what might you want to leave people with as we say goodbye here in a moment?
Um, that's a really good question. I usually ask that on my podcasts, Paul. I should have been ready for that one. The one thing I can, just want to share for anyone that's listening, just some advice. I mentioned it earlier, but if you feel that something is coming towards you and you just feel so resistant to it, or if there's something that you want to try something new and you're just hesitant about it, just go for it. Just do it. That's what I want to share. It's really just lean into that discomfort, whatever it is, because it may be that next level of growing as an individual for you.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Awesome. All right. Well, I always ask people this question. I got to make sure of this. Today, did you feel as though you had a chance to leverage your voice?
Absolutely. My
Excellent.
first time doing this, and it was a
Excellent.
great experience. You as the host, you're doing really great. I
Walking
love
around.
walking around. That's really good. I love it.
Yeah, that's my first time doing that. See, I wanted to do something for the first time in honor of you being the first time guest as a
Yeah.
on a podcast because I want to equalize it out here. I want to make sure that I was doing something that was new and that way you could help me as we got our way through this.
Yeah.
So, you did great.
You did great as well. How do you like it?
Well, it's interesting. I do feel like if you're moving around a little bit, you got to get a little used to it because where I was standing in place, now if I'm moving around, it is a little different.
Yeah.
And so you want to look at yourself instead of looking at my guest. So I got to not do that. And then I also think, well, you can feel like you're just out in the open and you're not where you're supposed to be or something. So there's a lot that runs through your head, but you've been supporting me throughout it. So we're going to see how it works. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Yeah, it looks great. Just make sure you don't trip over anything on the floor there.
That is a good suggestion. Now I have the little clip button, so I could clip that part out.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Archie. You've been a great guest. Really appreciate you joining us. Your office in August is going to be wonderful. I'm sure of that. You seem like you are committed to helping people, which we can't ask for anything more. Sounds like you're committed to continuous learning. We can't ask for anything more. And that's fantastic. You've done a great job sharing who you are. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate you allowing me to be on a guest on your show. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You bet. And folks, if you are interested in learning more about what I do, again, I'm Paul Rakowitz with prvocalcoaching.com, and I help professionals speak with confidence in just 8 weeks. So that's what I do. I do vocal coaching for speakers. All kinds of people come to me with all kinds of different issues. And when they're done, they're out talking and doing podcasts and doing videos and enjoying themselves in doing it. So if you fall into a category that I can help, just reach out. My website is prvocalcoaching.com. That's the place that you can find me. I have one more question. Where can they find you online? Where should they look for you?
They can find me on Instagram. Very active on Instagram. My handle is Archie_Dane, and my chiropractic office is groundwork_chiropractic.
Perfect. We're going to include both of those in the comments or in the post, whatever it is, when we share this. So if you need to get to Archie or myself, those will be in the post. So make it as easy as possible for you. And I want to thank you for tuning in, for watching this episode. Thank my wonderful guest, Archie, one more time. Thank you all. Archie, say bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. We shall see you in the next episode. Thank you for joining us. And till next time, have a great time, great day, great week, whatever it is before we see you again. Bye for now.